Learn how to use the already state change property and HTTP status codes to track the life cycle of an Ajax request and handle the server response when it is completely ready. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the already state change event. Before modern browsers introduced the unload shortcuts, developer monitor Ajax requests by watching them through a series of checkpoints. So the already state change function is like a status tracker for a delivery package. So every time the status updates, from connecting to the server to downloading the data to finally finishing. So this function checks the progress by verifying that the process is completely finished and that the server didn't encounter any error. So you ensure the data is perfectly safe to display. Now let's move into our script tag and look at an example that demonstrates this particular event back in the days when you need to manually track Ajax request. So I'm already here inside my script section, and we're going to go ahead and make a function. So let's call our function onReady state or anything. You can name your function anything you like as long as you can remember it. And inside it, so we're going to set the process XHTTP, and we're going to call the new XML request object. And after this, you call the xhttp.unload and pass the function to it. And inside this function, you add the inside this function, then we want to add a conditional to check the state of our request. And the status equals to 200, which is success. Then that is when we want our document, or that is when we want whatever is returned to be displayed. That is, this is going to be a display of a successful response with a status code of 200. Then next http.open past our method, your HTTP method, as well as either a URL or a file where we want to fetch information. Next HTTP send. So this is our function. Let's quickly move inside our HTML and add a button to display this. So let's give our button name, click me, and let this button carry an ID of BTN that has been styled already. And add an on-click property to unload already states. We call our function and then you pass it. So if you go ahead and click on this button now, you can see that nothing is actually happening. But let's check our console to see if there's anything that is going to help us to know what exactly is the problem. Okay, not found. So I need a forward slash in order to identify where the file is actually. Okay, this is a page to be fetched from the server. Look at this example now. Immediately we click on this button, a request is sent. So the already state change, what we have here, the already state change function, which is what is contained in our XHTTP. XHTTP is the correct thing, not XHPP. XHTTP, XHTTP, XHTTP.
Okay, XHTTP. I'm trying to make those correct here. So we are back on the same page. So the functions triggers multiple time in the background as soon as the request starts processing once this button is clicked. So the code then uses an if statement to ignore all intermediate steps, only executing the text swap when the operation is 100% complete and successful. So there is going to be a response only if there is a successful response from the server or from the file where we are trying to fetch information. So any other thing aside from that is going to, not just return anything as long as the operation is not successful. Let's now look down at a breakdown of what we have inside of our code. So the XHTTP dot oh sorry, we are not dealing with onload. I made a mistake here. So this is actually not onload. Already state change. Sorry. It's actually already state change. And let me go ahead and click this again. Yeah. So this is what we need here and not the onload property that I mistakenly included in this code. So the already state change equals to this function sets up an event listener that fires automatically every single time the ready state property of the request changes value. Now look at what we have here. The ready state has a status of 4 and here it's the ready state of 4 and it has a status of 200. Just imagine I have something like 2. Let's see what is going to happen. If I go ahead and click this, you can see that it is no longer displaying what we have inside our file. So the 4 that you can see here is a way to let the server to let the functions know that a request or a ready state is ready to be triggered or fired. So this dot ready state equals to 4 holds a number from 0 to 4 representing the current state of the request. So 4 means the operation is completely finished and all data has been received. So that is the reason why we are seeing 4 in our function. That is, if this dot ready state equals to 4. And also we also have this dot status equals to 200. It checks the HTTP status code that is returned by the server. So 200 is the standard web code for OK, that is success. So if the file wasn't found, the code will just be 404 and the script will now not try to updating the text. For example, so let's say this file link or the URL is broken. So if you come here and click here, it is not going to display anything, and if you inspect it, you are just basically going to see 404 or something. Look at it, 404 not found. So your URL or your file path of the server is also very, very important. So the if statement here is like a conditional safety gate that ensures that your JavaScript only handle the response data when the connection is fully finalized and successful.